Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's special guest is Loki. Okay. Today I created the pop of color spring makeup look. It's pretty easy, so if you want to stick around and learn how to do it, just keep watching. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to first start with my primer. And I'm going to use the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. This is probably my favorite primer of all time. It's just hard to get out of this squeezy tube. Like, I have to go back in a million times. So I'm just going to rub that in. I focus most of my primer towards the center and then I just blend it out. And then I'll let that sit for like 30 seconds or so. So for foundation, I always start with my face first. I cannot do it the other way around. It actually like really makes me cringe. So I'm going to start with the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. Whew. And then I usually just kind of squirt it onto my face. And these pumps are super small, so it looks like I'm using like a bunch, but hardly anything comes out with that. And then I'll just blend it in with this. Right now this is a Real Techniques. So I am matching this to my neck. Even this color is still like, I would say, I mean, for me, I would probably go half a shade or like one shade darker to match this level of tan that I have. But I don't want to buy that foundation in like a million colors, so. This foundation, I really did not even want to try it because my T-zone gets extremely oily, like it's disgusting, but the rest of my face doesn't. And so, I mean, I love matte foundations, those are always my favorite, but when I'm wearing my makeup for such a long time and I'm having like a matte foundation, matte setting powder, and then I'm touching up throughout the day, it can start to look kind of cakey. So I've been trying to get into like more of a luminous finish. I mean, I love the way it looks, don't get me wrong, but it just does not last on my, like, just in this area here. Has been like my go-to. And for concealer, I'm going to try this new Makeup Forever, the Ultra HD one. I feel like this color is going to look extremely light. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just going to have a highlighted under eye. But I'm not mad at that. I do like it. With my face, I do like to add some kind of dimension because I do feel like I don't have much like structure, so if I can kind of add it in. Let's see, this is supposed to self-set, but I promise you I could never like not set my concealer ever. Nope, not on this face. And I do bring it onto my eyelids. So I'm gonna set my under eyes with the Marc Jacobs coconut powder. Definitely one of my favorites. And then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender like little finger thing, and I just dip straight into it, and then I just like lightly start tapping this under my eyes. Definitely gives a brightening effect, which I like, and it has lasted me a very, very long time, and I use it quite regularly. So I mean, that's nice to at least have the product. I mean, it's a pricey powder, but if I get to have it for that long, I mean, I think I bought it like last July, I want to say. And I mean, of course, I'm usually rotating powders in and out, but this one has been a pretty steady use, and I've traveled with it, and I still have a lot left, so it's nice. I'll set my eyelids. And then I set my T-zone with the same powder and with the same sponge. Just because I do get pretty oily here, and this seems to help with them coming through my foundation, the oils, but also when they do come through, it still looks like really nice and natural-ish. Natural-ish. As natural as you can get with a full face of makeup on, okay? So I set there, and then we're good to go with that. I will still set the rest of my face. I just have to. So for that, I just take the MAC Medium Golden Mineralized Skin Finish. This is the most natural looking powder that I have come across. It doesn't even look like you're wearing powder. It really does like mimic the name Mineralized Skin Finish. So I highly recommend, and especially if you have like drier skin and you don't really need too much of a set, this is amazing. I have it in so many colors, it's a little absurd. But I'll set all the places I didn't set with the translucent powder. And then I'll kind of go over the places that I did put the lighter powder just to help blend it in, so it's not just like white under eye and like tan face. And then moving on, again, I do my whole face first. So I'm going to take the Benefit Cheek Leader palette. This has been like my go-to since I got it. I did get it recently, but this is the Bronze Squad. So you have the original Hoola, the new Hoola Caramel, 2 blushes, and the highlighter. And surprisingly, the highlighter is bomb. Like, I feel like I've tried a Benefit highlighter. I mean, I have the What's Up, and that one's really cute. But the other highlighter that they came out with, it was more subtle. It's still beautiful, but it's definitely subtle. This one is, you can make this pretty blinding. So I'm happy that they put that in there, because when I travel, I generally will bring a more intense highlight with me, just because that's usually the look I'm going for if I'm traveling. Like, I want to be able to have everything. So that was my setback with the original. Oh, I don't know if this is the original actually, but the first one I got this Cheek Parade palette probably close to 2 years ago, maybe not quite, but and this one has the Hoola light in it, which I was really excited about because when I'm really fair, that color works really good for me. But there's no highlighter in there, so I was bringing a highlighter with me, and it kind of defeated the purpose in my eyes of having like a travel palette. So this one hits everything for me. I love it. And I love the Hoola Caramel for when I have like a spray tan for an all over bronze, because it's definitely darker and warmer than the original Hoola. So I do love it. So on my MAC 135, I'm going to take the Hoola Caramel color and just start bronzing. You can see this is so pigmented, and I go heavy-handed with bronzer anyway, so it's almost dangerous, but I love it. I'm a curious man with some curious genes. I get that from my dad. I'm not far from the tree. I flow like I'm a butterfly, sting like a beamer. I hate features. Okay, so I still feel like that looks a little harsh. So I just take my sponge that I blended like the foundation and the concealer out with, and it's still damp, and I just go over like the edges so that there's no demarcation lines of where I put that. But you can see that already adds so much to my face. I look way less ghosty, thank God. And then to contour, I have been obsessed with the Wet n Wild, like this, I don't know, dragon unicorn brush. It's actually a highlighting fan brush. It's perfect for my contour. So I go into the same palette and I just take the original Hula color. And then just hit the back end with the more concentrated application. And I don't have very defined cheekbones. I'm not like, I know that I'm not going to. So this kind of just helps look like there's a little bit of definition there. I also take that and I hit right under my jaw. In pictures at night, this looks freaking snatched. During the day, you gotta go a little easy with that. So I'm gonna take my face powder brush and just make sure that this is all like blended out. I always go back in with an additional, like with another brush, and blend everything out. I feel like I just have such a fear of not having blended makeup because I know I used to go out with unblended makeup. No one told me. Thanks, y'all. But ever since I've seen pictures of myself from back in the day, I spend a lot of time making sure that that's blended. So, okay, so then for my blush, I'm going to go into the same palette and I'm going to mix both of the blush colors. I'm going to go in with Coralista first. Oh my gosh, they smell so good, especially this Gold Rush. And you can see it has a little bit of a glow to it. So, love that. I've been really loving just using this palette for pretty much everything. The highlighter, again, is bomb, but I want to use the Anastasia. I picked this loose highlighter up in So Hollywood, and I'm really excited to use it if I can get it open, because these, for girls with nails, it's the worst. Like, I really can't think of anything worse right now. Drama queen. So I will be right back when I get this open. So here's what it looks like. I'm really hoping that this isn't too dark for me, but I got this one for now. So I'm going to take my highlighting brush, and I have just the smallest bit in the cap because I know how the Kylie ones are. The Kylie ones are pretty blinding, and I always like load up my brush for some reason. So I'm going to take this brush, and I don't have my face wet or anything. I mean, I barely used any. So I'm actually going to just bring the rest, holy moly, right over here. This is definitely gold. I mean, I'm borderline not even able to wear this color. I probably should have got the lighter one, but here we are. I mean, I do love a gold highlight at night, like in photos, but probably the lighter one was more suited for me. Wow, that's a blinding highlight. So I take my sponge again, and I just go over this, make sure everything is like pushed in, it's not just sitting on top of my skin, and also that you can't see the line where my highlight starts and stops. So wow, this is amazing. I definitely want to get the lighter shade so I could use it a little bit more often, but I'm going to keep that one. Love that one. So my face is pretty much done. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to set it before I go in with any of my eye makeup just to make sure I'm not disturbing my mascara. Okay, so for setting spray, I have been actually really loving the CoverGirl, the Outlast Active. It feels good, it smells good, it gives you a nice light glow, and it definitely helps with the makeup wear time. So okay, so now that my face is set, you can see I have a glow, and especially over that highlighter. Wow, that highlighter is intense. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to eyebrows. The way I've been loving to fill in my brows is actually, I have switched to this. And so this is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. I'm obsessed with this. I have every brow product ever. Like, I have 2 shades of the Cabral, 2 shades of the Anastasia Dip Brow. I have the brow powder from Benefit. I got the Goof Proof. I got the Precisely. I got the Kat Von D. I mean, I use a lot of brow products. I'm always trying to find one that works really good for me. I love all those products. I've been using them for quite a long time. But I came across this Tattoo Studio and I got the shade Blonde. I actually did pick it up in soft brown as well, but I'm gonna use Blonde. And when I first got it, I tried to set my brows with it. I don't think it's meant for that because, I mean, this deposited so much color onto my brows. It was frightening. So I then just started filling in my brows with this, but the applicator is a little wide. So I just started dipping in my brow brush, and I'll just like take product off of this and then I'll go in. And I love this color for my platinum hair during the day. At night I go for the soft brown color because if I'm taking pictures my eyebrows always like disappear. So I'll go like 1 shade darker and just more dramatic makeup at night. And using it like this, I feel like I can make my brows look, I mean, either dramatic or I can get a pretty natural look. But this stays on like the name, like a tattoo. So, I mean, like, this is no joke. It stays on. I mean, I've worn this like to the gym, out at night, all day. I mean, this is like my favorite thing ever. So I highly recommend it. And if you use it, I also recommend using it like this. So I'm already done with the eyebrow. I don't do anything too crazy with my brows. I just fill in the natural shape. They're already, I mean, I do like the natural shape that I have going on, so I just stick to it. And we are done. So I just brush through, especially here in the front part. Moving on. Okay, so I'm doing a pretty simple eye look, and I consider this a spring makeup look because I'm just going to do a pop of color in the inner corner. This is definitely a popular technique going around, especially since I saw Kylie Jenner did it on her Instagram. So I'm going to take the Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm just going to throw like a brown color into the crease. So I actually like to mix this orange and then this brown on these big pans, just pretty lightly on like a big fluffy brush, and then just blow that out in the crease. I mean, it's definitely like a warm tone orangey brown, but that's kind of what I'm going for. And this is like a Kylie Jenner 15 brush. It's a huge fluffy brush, and it's so good. I cannot live without this brush because of how much space I have between my eye and my brow. This brush makes it so easy to like just fill it in. You can see I'm not very precise with that color. I just kind of throw it in. And that's it, actually. I'm gonna do a wing liner because that's my jam. I always do a wing liner. I feel like if you know me for any of the past 4 years, I do a wing liner almost every day. So this is the Benefit Roller Liner in black. one turned out, of course, a little bigger. So I'll just go in until they match. And I love doing a wing liner because my eyes are like pretty big and round. This makes them just a little bit more, you know, cat eye effect, a little bit elongated. So I've just been doing that forever. I probably always will. So before I do the inner color, the inner corner, I'm going to take the same two colors that I just put in my crease on a more precise brush. So just on a, it's still kind of a fluffy brush, it's just a little more precise. I'm going to take the same two colors and just run that under my lash line. And again, that does not have to be perfect. I usually just make it pretty blown out. I kind of bring it low. On an everyday basis, this is pretty much how I wear my makeup. I'll just throw on some mascara and call it a day. I just like the warm browns on my eyes and my skin color. But since I want it to be like more spring-like and add a little bit more color in, I'm still in the same palette. And I'm going to take this like macaroni and cheese orange color. There's no names, but it's the brightest orange that's in there. I'm going to go on I love to use the brushes that come in the Anastasia palettes. I do really like the smaller, smudgier end for my inner corner because again, mine is pretty deep. I need a more precise brush to get in there. So I'm just taking that orange and I'm just like packing that in there. I love this shade of orange. It is so pretty. Okay, so that's what we're working with right now. It'll look better. And I just try to blend it somewhat into the other colors that are up there. So it looks like this. Now this color to me is just a little too dark for what I'm going for. So I just take the bright yellow here and I just pack it on top, and this just makes it a little bit more like a tangerine color, can we say? And it just brightens it up. Like, I don't know if you can see the difference here. This is way brighter. Okay, so that's what we got. I love the combination of those two colors. So again, I kind of just blend it like just right here and right here, so it's not just like a harsh clump of color. To top it off, I'm gonna go in with this Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pot in Froze. It looks like this. It's definitely pink with like gold reflex. I feel like it pulls, like in this look, I can see that it pulls more orange. I feel like it really picks up the color that I have underneath it. And with this on the same brush that I had, and I just pop it on top. And it doesn't change the color or anything. It just brightens it up, gives it like a pop of shine. I don't know if you can really see it, but okay, there we go. So as opposed to the all matte, this just adds a little bit of shimmer. Okay, so I'm gonna do my mascara really quick. I'm not doing false lashes today. This is kind of more of my daytime look, and I don't generally wear lashes during the day. But I'm gonna go in with hefty many coats of the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. This is probably my favorite mascara ever. So I'm gonna put this on and I will be right back. So that's what it looks like. I love the way that looks with just mascara, but if I was going out at night with the look, probably would have false lashes on. It just really depends. So the last thing that I'm going to do is, of course, my lips. So for lips, I usually just try to find what's sharpened. Perfect. So I'm going to take the MAC Oh Honey lip liner. And then for liquid lipstick, I'm going to take the Unbuttoned Stunna Lip Paint by Fenty Beauty. This is one of my favorite. Okay, so this is the completed look. Definitely a lighter pop of color spring makeup look. Definitely one of my go-tos as well. Let me know if there's any other colors that you think I should incorporate into the look. You could really do it with any color. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to my channels and I'll see you later. Bye.